Two coworkers, same salary, same spending habits, same $2,000 a month running through a credit card. Jordan chases points, flights, hotel nights, the occasional upgrade. Aaron just wants 2% back. Every time, no thinking required. Jordan thinks he's playing a smarter game. Aaron thinks he's the one who actually understands math. Neither of them has run the real numbers. Let's keep this fair. Same income, same monthly spend, same credit score, same starting point. No sign-up bonus windfalls, no lucky mistake fares, no one carrying a balance. Just two people, one decision, and 5 years to find out whose card actually paid for itself. Here's the surface story. Jordan feels like he's found a cheat code. He books a flight that would have cost $400 for $60 in taxes and fees, and that single trip feels like it justified the whole point system overnight. Aaron feels like he's the responsible one, a guaranteed 2%, deposited automatically. No research required, no expiring miles, no chasing seat availability at 3 in the morning. Both stories are emotionally true. Neither one is the whole ledger. And both of them can point to a friend who proved their side. Jordan's college roommate flew business class to Tokyo for the price of a domestic economy ticket and never stopped talking about it. Aaron's sister calculated her cash back down to the penny last year and used it to cover her entire holiday shopping bill. Two great stories. Neither one tells you what actually happens to the average person running this decision for real over years, not over one lucky booking. The debate usually gets reduced to one comparison. Cashback gives you a guaranteed percentage. Points give you a variable, sometimes better redemption. That's the version people repeat. And it's not false. It's just missing almost every variable that determines who actually wins. Now, look at what the simple version leaves out. First, redemption value isn't fixed, and most people never check it. A point is only worth what you actually get for it, and most redemptions, gift cards, statement credits, random merchandise, land somewhere well below 1 cent per point. The $60 flight to Tokyo stories are real, but they're the best case outliers, not the average outcome, and most points quietly get redeemed for far less than the airline ever advertised they were worth. Put another way, the same 100,000 points can be worth $400 redeemed carelessly or well over $1,000 redeemed with real strategy, and almost nobody knows which version they're actually getting until they check the math after the fact. Second, annual fees change everything. A lot of the strongest points cards charge yearly fees that can run into the hundreds of dollars. Jordan has to clear that fee in value before his card has even broken, even for the year, while Aaron's simple cashback card is often fee-free from day one. That means Jordan isn't actually competing against Aaron's 2%. He's competing against Aaron's 2% plus however much his own annual fee subtracts before a single point gets redeemed. Card issuers know this, which is why the sign-up bonus is always advertised loudly and the fee is always printed quietly. The bonus creates the excitement, and the fee is the part that has to be earned back every single year after that. Third, the behavioral tax nobody mentions. Point systems are designed to make spending feel like progress. Jordan finds himself booking a slightly more expensive flight because it earns bonus points in a certain category, or making a purchase he wouldn't normally make because it happens to be a 5 times points month. That's not a redemption problem. That's spending more, in real dollars, to chase a reward structure that was designed by the bank to make him do exactly that. Multiply that pattern across a year of small, it's basically free because of the points, decisions, and the extra spending can easily exceed whatever the rewards were worth in the first place. Fourth, cashback has an opportunity cost too, and it's the one nobody puts in Aaron's column. If Aaron's 2% lands as a statement credit and gets absorbed into regular spending instead of being saved or invested, it's not actually building anything. It's just a quiet discount on a bill he was going to pay anyway. Guaranteed doesn't mean growing. 2% back on $24,000 of annual spending is real money. but it behaves completely differently depending on whether it disappears into the same checking account as everything else or gets swept into an account that compounds. So here's where the story starts to separate. Run it forward 1 year. Jordan's card, after the annual fee, has produced a pile of points worth something between 40 cents and $1.20 each, depending entirely on how carefully he redeems them. If he cashes them in lazily, for gift cards or merchandise, he might have actually done worse than Aaron's guaranteed rate once the fee is subtracted. If he redeems carefully for a well-timed flight, he's meaningfully ahead, sometimes by hundreds of dollars. Run it forward 5 years. This is where it gets uncomfortable for whichever side you were rooting for. If Jordan stayed disciplined, tracking redemption values, avoiding the temptation to overspend for bonus categories, and cashing points in only for high-value bookings, his card has likely outperformed Aaron's by a real margin, sometimes enough to fund an entire vacation Aaron would have paid for out of pocket. But if Jordan got lazy even half the time, redeeming for convenience instead of value, the fees and the behavioral overspending can erase the advantage entirely, and Aaron's boring, guaranteed 2% quietly wins. That's the flip point nobody puts in the thumbnail. The winner isn't decided by which rewards program is objectively better. It's decided by how disciplined the points chaser actually is, and by whether the cashback saver actually saves the cash instead of letting it evaporate into everyday spending. Now, credit where it's due, because both sides deserve it. Jordan's approach has a real cost. It demands time. Comparing transfer partners, tracking devaluations, timing bookings around award availability, and banks change the rules whenever it benefits them, quietly devaluing points programs the moment loyal customers have stopped comparing. The smart version of this game requires ongoing homework that most people, honestly, will not keep doing for 5 straight years. A program that felt generous in year 1 can quietly require twice as many points for the same flight by year 4, and the people who stopped paying attention are the ones who get hit hardest. Aaron's approach has a real cost too. He is leaving real value on the table if he ever needs to book premium travel, and his flat, guaranteed return means he never benefits from the outlier redemptions that make the points game worth it for people who actually put in the effort. Simplicity has a price, and the price is a permanently average outcome instead of an occasionally great one. Aaron will never fly business class on points because he was never in that game to begin with. Here's what nobody tells you. This was never a points versus cash problem. It's a time, discipline, and spending behavior problem wearing a rewards costume. The advertised earn rate is the doorway into the conversation, not the conclusion of it. The real decision rule looks more like this. If you don't have the time or interest to track redemption values and transfer partners, a simple, no-fee cashback card will almost always beat a points card run carelessly. Guaranteed and boring beats, optimized and neglected. If you actually enjoy the research, travel often enough to redeem for genuinely high-value bookings, and can resist the urge to spend more just to hit a bonus category, a points card can meaningfully outperform cash back over time. And if you know, honestly, that any cashback you earn just disappears into daily spending instead of savings, the reward itself was never really the point. The real gap is between people who let rewards manage their spending and people who manage their spending and let rewards follow. And notice that almost nobody needs to pick a permanent side. Plenty of people carry a simple cashback card for everyday purchases and a points card reserved only for the specific categories. Travel, dining, where the math clearly favors it. That hybrid approach captures most of the upside of both strategies while limiting how much either weakness can cost you. The real trap was never choosing the wrong card. It was assuming the printed earn rate was the whole story, instead of one input in a stack of variables, redemption discipline, and spending behavior that quietly decide who actually comes out ahead. So here's the question worth sitting with. Somewhere in your own wallet, there's a number you've been trusting at face value, a rate, a rewards multiplier, a percentage. while a quieter behavior underneath it has been doing most of the actual work. Jordan and Aaron both had a defensible strategy. Neither of them had the full picture. What's yours?